Hey, welcome back. This is part 2 of our interview with Anthony Davis of East Nashville Beer Works. In this episode, we talked to Anthony about just how family-friendly his taprooms are, their food menu, some of their core beers, a Home Alone pop-up at one of their locations for the holidays, and even a story about the East Nashville Beer Works name. We hope you enjoy. Cheers.
So a lot of the folks that they're working for you now, have they been with you from the beginning? Have there been many that have been there from the ground up?
I've got a few. I've got only a few left. I mean, obviously, like any business, we've had 8 years. You got a lot of turnover, but honestly, we were sort of light turnover for a long time. Funny, my original taproom manager's back. She's my taproom manager at East again, Kayla, who's amazing. We've got a few people. My cellarman was in our kitchen for 6 years or 7 years, and now he's a rock star in the brew house. He really wanted to do something different, and it was that kind of thing. Like, over the years, I was like, maybe he wants to be a programmer. He's very smart, was into different stuff. And one day he was just like, I want to try working in the brew house, and we were just like, okay, you can wash kegs. And so he's one of my longstanding. He's been with me like 7 years. I've got a couple bartenders that have been there about that long. So, again, I mean, I've got some kitchen guys that have been there 5-6 years, at this point. So it just all varies. But, and then on the brewing side, Mitch has now celebrated 4 years, and he's our head brewer and just a total rock star, just a genius and doing great things.
Yeah, we've heard his name a couple of times as we were talking about this, and they're just all praise for Mitch, and I can't wait to meet him one day.
Yeah, Mitch Crane. A lot of people know him. He was at Rock Bottom back in the day. He kind of trained under this guy Thomas Mercado, who was a phenomenal Rock Bottom downtown. A lot of craft beer people don't know they had amazing beer. When Thomas and Mitch and people like that were there. Will Collette, who came in after Mitch, who also trained under Thomas. He's now New Heights' main brewer, is Will Collette. There's other people off that tree that branched off. But then Mitch went to Cool Springs. He was running the program at Cool Springs, and that's when we got him over here at East. But it's been wonderful, and we're really happy. Like any brewery, you have to have the great foundational beer. You can have cool tap rooms and cool stuff like we have and good food, but if it's just like lipstick on a pig. If the beer underlying, you've not done it right.
Oh yeah, we've been to places that are beautiful, right? Or we've been to before, and you have the beer, and you're like, you know what? I'm not coming back, or you know what I mean?
It starts with that. I mean, if that's not right, then you've just spent too much time and money on the other stuff, and that's the thing. I mean, like we grew in that smaller space, and it's a cool tap room and whatever, but it's not like we didn't spend all that money we spent here 8 years later on like in Wilson County. Like now we've got a model, and we've rolled up our model into what like we wanted to do out there. That was Wilson County is like the coming together of like the multiplying of what we've done at East for years now. So it's a very big risk. I mean, that thing that was not cheap, but it's a calculated risk that like what we do is going to work bigger.
Well, judging by the fact that I was there, I think you guys are doing all right.
Yeah, I know. Totally. Thank you.
I got there last night about 4, and I was, it was pretty early in the afternoon. People hadn't gotten off work yet, and I was kind of sitting. I walked around, took some pictures, did all that, sat down, and, a few people at the bar. I bet within 30 minutes, the bottom was completely full. The upstairs started filling up. I mean, by the time I left, the whole place was full. It was amazing. It was, I mean, people were like, you could tell it was like after work. Everybody just flocked over there. Groups of people showed up. Yeah, pretty amazing.
That's awesome. We want to be that spot. And I don't know I think y'all probably noticed, but we made the mezzanine in that upstairs. We call it was going to be 21 and up. We made it 15 and up. Like if you have older kids and you want them to kind of sit with you or whatever. But about like 90% through construction, I just had this epiphany, and I was just like, the big problem I was telling you at East is like it gets too kid friendly, too family friendly. We get like kind of blasted or whatever. So I was just like, they don't need to be up on the mezzanine or we are family friendly to the max down below, right? Yeah. So I made the upstairs 15 and up so that like it's chill. Like they're not running up. I was like, they're going to run up and down the stairs. They're going to be doing crazy stuff. So I was like, let's just not do that. And so if you want to go chill, just so y'all know, and there are signs at the bottom of the outside and the inside stairs, but you can just be away from the kid thing. Look down on them down there in the beer garden and go, there's all the young
and
families.
I did that. I took a lot of video of that. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
And what's great, to your point, there are 3 bars in there. You've got the downstairs bar.
Yeah.
You've got the upstairs bar, and then is it upstairs? You've got the outside bar too.
It's downstairs outside. You actually upstairs you can order from both sides.
That's right.
But the main, like, there's the third bar is, so it's main bar, outside, like covered patio, and then the upstairs. All 3 of those have all 32 taps, by the way. No bars are shortchanged.
Okay.
When we did the tiki bar here at East, I mean, I only did like 8 taps or something, just because it was like trying to add a whole bar outside or whatever was going to be crazy. But those are all full bars, 32 taps. They all will have cocktails. They all have wine. They all have Diskin because it's on tap.
Yep.
So yeah, nothing is shortchanged. It's all like full bars.
And the great thing too, and this is maybe it's obvious, but if you start a tab, you can order at any of the bars. If you decide to go walk upstairs, you just order, you just put it on your tab. It's all connected, which is a really nice feature. Believe it or not, not every place has that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, because we use Toast, so it's a great point of sale. Yeah, like you got to be able to. We pre-auth, we give you your card back. We're not holding cards, do anything. Right. Like I can't stand the whole. I mean, could you imagine how many credit cards I would have lost over the years when I was holding cards? Oh, yeah. So we give you your card back, and then it's like go to whatever bar you want. We couldn't figure out a better way for food. I thought about more of like a Panera kind of pickup model. That's actually why we built the kitchen kind of. There's like a expo window.
Yep.
But man, we thought people are just like, we were like, with this volume, people are going to crowd that window and just be like, where's my food? So we stayed with our cafe kind of model where you have a number that we come find you with the food, Still the same menu, just so people know, it's pizza, salads, apps. We added some wings, some nachos, like a couple of heavier apps just for football and that kind of thing. It's our pizza menu. It's really good apps, like our house-made hummus. Like we do a beer cheese. We do a Miramiel beer cheese. It's killer.
I had your beer cheese. I should have said that. Yeah, I had the beer cheese,
Thank
man.
you.
That thing was phenomenal.
Awesome. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, hopefully I was going to say hopefully you liked it, but yeah, that's been doing really well. So we got the beer cheese, and we're slowly adding the menu back. We're not even to like full menu. It's just been a month now, so we're just like it's just been so like we had to change the way we do dough. It's been so much volume. Like we used to do dough pucks that we proofed, and then we kind of like stretched dough per se. We've had to go to like par baked dough. I mean, it's just been like on Saturday, we're just doing anything to cut down the wait time so that you're not waiting, because we're open seating and you can go to the bar and order. If you go to a restaurant and it's full, you're going to wait. The wait time is there, right? You're like waiting 45 minutes there. Here, you get to come in, you order. If we're just bonkers, you might have a 45-minute wait, but you're like having beers and you're chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd rather have that personally, but it's just been, so we've done things to cut down on it and we've got a good kitchen manager now, and we're doing everything we can to like make sure that thing's flowing really well. So,
can you see Lebanon being a destination beer city, with you guys being the center of that right now?
We hope we're a destination in general, just because of how big we did it and stuff. And like we were saying earlier, there's nothing in Middle Tennessee like this. Like, right. First I was like, man, Lebanon's never going to have seen anything like this. And then I'm like, dude, there's nothing in town like this. I mean, if there was something in town like this, I'd take my kids there every weekend. So we're going to be a destination for sure. But yeah, I mean, like Cedar City's really good downtown. You got 10 Lakes down there. If anybody else comes out, obviously that'd be cool. So yeah, I mean, I think it could be, and it could continue to grow. So
Steve and I drink beer, I think, a little differently than a lot of people do. We'll make we both live in the Nashville area. He's in Laverne, I'm in Nashville, but like we might do a Murfreesboro trek, and when we go, we want to hit, spend the day, and we're going to hit them all, versus, someone that lives there. So when I say that, I'm thinking about, we take a trip from Nashville or wherever, and we hit Lebanon, right? And we hit all 3 breweries, and then maybe there's 5 or 6 that show up at one point. for us, it's great because it's, hey, that gives me another reason to go out there, or it gives me a reason. Hey, I can, to go for maybe just one. Oh, man, I don't know, but if I can hit 3 or 4 and fill a day, that's kind of how we like to do things. So that's kind of why I was asking that question.
Yeah, I think it's I love that too. And we're on Trinity on our other spot with Living Waters, and we like that. We like to be which he may at some point, like, or somebody may move closer to us or whatever. It's like, that's great. Like, the more closer to us, the better, because it makes it a destination. So, I think Lebanon could be. And, I wish it were as dense and close as Metro Nashville, because, we have that Music City Brew Hop, which to your listeners, highly recommend. That guy, Adam, my buddy, he's a partner. They're amazing. They got the West Loop and the East Loop. You guys have probably done them both, I'm sure, since you like to do this sort of thing. They're just like so great for us breweries. Like, I got to give them a shout out, because they bring us so many people every year and every week, month, year. And I wanted to, can I make an announcement about the holidays? We've got a really cool thing coming up at East.
Go for it.
And he's going to
breaking news.
The breaking news here. The segue is the trolley guy is actually going to be bringing a lot of people to this event, but we're doing a Home Alone pop-up. Like, we're transforming the pizza into Little Nero's Pizza the entire month.
Nice.
It's my favorite holiday movie. It is like, it transcends generations. Like, our generation loves it. You've got our kids that they like it already. We've been wanting to do the kind of the holiday pop-up thing. So we're just going fully immersive Home Alone pop-up starting November 21st through December 29th. And the segue was the trolley is going to be bringing us people. But anybody that wants to come down, that likes Home Alone, we're going to have all kinds of Easter eggs. We're doing play set kind of walls. We're changing the walls. It's going to be pretty immersive. Because we do pizza, we can change the whole thing to Little Nero's. We're going to have some fun with it. So please come join us for that. It's at the Trinity Lane location only, East Nashville. So
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was one of my questions. So you came up, we've had Adam on the podcast. As a matter of fact, we had a two-parter with him. Yeah, and your name came up a couple of times.
Really? I got to go back and listen. Yeah. Oh, man, that's awesome. What did he say? What did he say?
I can tell you what it is. You're going to need to listen to the episodes, because we need the listeners. But no.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna I'll get you some streams.
But part of it was, and I won't go through the whole thing, but he said that he was telling about his thing, and kind of early on there was an instance where a guy was on the trolley and he ended up at your place, and he was too drunk to kind of keep going, so they called ahead and the whole thing. The point of that one is you guys called each other. You were both at the same beer fest, I think, or something.
I think it was East Nashville. I think it was the East Nashville Beer Fest day a couple of years ago. That guy fell out of a chair in the brewery.
Yeah.
And literally one of the first rides. And I was just like, oh my God. And we both talked, and I was like, is this what this is going to be? I was I trust him. And I was just like, okay. It's just one freak weird thing and it's never happened since. It's always really responsible, cool people. Yeah.
And he told the story kind of like they had, a plan in place for something like that to happen before he fell off the stool. But hey, this guy's inebriated. Okay, we're trying to talk him into staying on the trolley. He wouldn't. Yeah. Call ahead to the brewery. Hey, don't serve this guy. He wanted to hang out with his friends, and he still proceeded to fall off the stool.
Yeah.
But the other story he told, and you've mentioned this word a couple of times, is community. And he told a story about you, and this is a community thing. I usually like to ask things about community, but I've got a story about you. And he goes, when he was getting started and he was having to go in front of the Transportation Licensing Commission.
Yeah.
So that he didn't get lumped in with the party buses.
Yes.
You went to him and said, because you were on the Metro Council at the time, and you were like, hey, we're going to rally all the brewers in this town if we have to in solidarity and go before the board if we need to, so you don't get lumped into that thing. And that is an example, one of the better examples I've heard of community. You're going to help this guy out if he needed it.
Absolutely, yeah. And we had mentioned the Brewers Guild. I was president of the Brewers Guild in 19. I think it was that year, because I was still president of the Brewers Guild and on the council, kind of rolling off the council. I'm back on the board, just FYI. Right now, we're about to hire a new executive director, off to some good things. But yeah, that was a pivotal moment for him, and they were looking at everything, and it was just like, he doesn't you're not drinking. It's not a party bus. They're not drinking on the trolley. He's just like a tourism thing. They're transporting, and he's supporting all these small businesses. So yeah, we were going to I think we did do a letter from on guild letterhead and that sort of thing. And we were ready to do what it took. I think we were able to kind of talk to the TLC people and just say, hey, he is a different thing. If it was if people were getting smashed on there, that's fine. He would need to be lumped in with them, but that's not what he is. He is a transportation thing to get you to the great small businesses that are the breweries and support us in our businesses. And then sure, they're having beers and stuff there, but he gives them water. He's just a great partner.
Coordinated. Yeah, it's very coordinated.
And he's offering a service too at the same time. I mean, it's
absolutely, yeah, and it's a really cool tourism thing. I mean, because and it was a heavy need. I mean, he's kind of a brilliant guy. It's just man, I was just saying earlier, when I go to a city, I just want to see what breweries I want to go to. And you guys are probably the same way. You're on vacation. I'm Googling where am I going? So he's you could come here and go, oh, this trolley guy is going to hit. If I go to this side, I can go to this side. It's not everybody because it's a bigger region, but man, you could hit a bunch like you guys said you like to do. So, but that's really cool. It is a community thing and ties into the Brewers Guild too, because we are really a close-knit community, and we're trying to accomplish a lot of things together with the guild. So, that it all goes together.
And I feel like the trolley may also be, and we've been segueing here, may also segue into, just a couple days ago, it's kind of timely, the Metro Nashville elections, they passed a big mass transit bill.
Yeah.
You're a former city councilman. You're a brewery owner in East Nashville. Have you thought about how that may impact you in a positive way?
I'm very excited about it. Freddie O'Connell and everybody did a wonderful job. I know a lot of people that worked on that campaign. They did a phenomenal job. Just a couple of years ago, we were getting defeated over and over again with this, trying to do transit. And it's just, the traffic's only got worse. I think, thankfully the electorates realize that it's just only going to get worse. You need to move more people in vehicles and less vehicles, right? Not one per car, on I-24 all the time. I mean, you're an I-24 guy, man. That is just the worst, but my God. But yeah, so I'm so excited about it. It's also going to be sidewalk money and infrastructure money, and get pedestrians around better. And yes, for the brewery, it's going to be really good for the breweries as a whole. For us, we're on Trinity. So, more crosstowns are going to be happening from it, more frequency on Gallatin Road and that kind of main corridors. You guys are, Nolensville, Murfreesboro, all those main corridors. But crosstowns too. And Trinity is going to be one of those crosstown things. So we will get some more buses coming right in front of the brewery, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Coming from North Nashville and then East Nashville out to north. So yeah, it's just going to be great for everybody. And it is high time. It is a little tiny bit on the sales tax and very much for it. And just thankful it got passed.
Something had to happen. We just can't keep talking about it, whether it's the smallest of things. You got to start somewhere. Let's get something started. It's ridiculous around here.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a bipartisan one. A lot of chamber people have been for this for years. And this is just something that, yes, it's spending money, but it's also I think people just want to feel comfortable with the plan. It's not too big. It's not too little. It's just, it's a little penny tax kind of thing on sales tax. And it's going to go to some good, and it's going to reach into the neighborhoods. The sidewalk stuff is going to reach into the neighborhoods. Yeah. And then the frequency of the buses, that's people don't take it because you're just when is it coming and what do I do and how do I get there? And,
that's just one of the biggest thing I thought about, because they're going to increase so much bus service, and people that are able to do that and come to your brewery and not have to sit around in traffic, that has to be something that you're going, all right, yeah, great,
Absolutely, yeah, it is going to be great. And the people that are even closer to town, like Tennessee Brew Works, Fate LaForce, man, they've got to benefit from this, because if you're off one of those corridors coming right out of the bus depot or whatever, it's just because you can take it from anywhere, get to the depot, boom, you're right there. It's just going to be that much more convenient to go to those other breweries, to go to Titans games, just Preds, whatever you want. So it's going to be great.
One of the cool things about both of your spots, and this counterpoints what we were just talking about, but because it takes, to get there is a problem. But when you get to your locations, you guys have parking, though. That is a good thing in both spots. You guys have free parking over there.
We do. We have more parking than most breweries. We still get people complaining about it, FYI. People will complain. But like at Trinity, we have now 4 lots. We have our main lot. There's the side lot where the playground is. There's custom sling. You can park there at night and on the weekends. And then I actually rent a lot across the street. There's a sign that says more parking over here. I've got a whole nother lot across the street that fits like 35 cars. So like Trinity now, people that haven't been there in a couple of years or something, there's a ton of parking now. And I added multiple lots. And then at Wilco, it's we got 55 spaces. That's nowhere near enough. We got that little, there's some made up gravel lot beyond that. And then just like street parking. There's actually some businesses behind us. I've talked to them. When you go past Callis to whatever that road is that has Journeys on it right behind us, that you can park at those businesses right there. And they said they didn't care. I went and talked. So just another heads up, they're like warehouses back behind us. It's behind the beer garden. So feel free to park there. If they tell you, I'm going to go over there and have a conversation. But they told me they did not care. I knocked on all those doors. So
it wasn't a problem when I was there. So I saw a lot of people parking everywhere. So it looked good.
Yeah, and but Friday night and Saturday has been so crazy. People are parking at like 109. Like it's been that busy. It just sprawls out. And so other than Friday night and Saturday, it's usually pretty cool. It's no problem. But there is you can find a spot, and we've got plenty of parking there too, but it's just there's just not enough.
No, but it is great that you said it, because there's a lot of places that don't, whether breweries or not, and you guys actually do. You can roll up and park over there, and typically it's not an issue, right? It's great. So that's why I wanted to point that out.
We try to be convenient. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You guys have a theme for your beer, and it's on your website. I really like this, and you kind of talked about it when you were talking about your beer earlier, but it's called Balanced and Bright. That's how you describe it. It's kind of a theme for your beer, and it to me, it's like just simple and clean, and we're just kind of making beer and we're doing it. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. That has been kind of a thing I've said since the beginning. And if it's not a balanced beer, like basically malt to hop characteristics where it's overly bitter or overly malty or sweet or something, to us it's not a great beer. And then just bright flavors, coming out with a honey blonde as the flagship, like it's got the honey in there and it gives it like a neat little spin, that sort of thing. Just dry hopping these IPAs and occasionally using fruit. We call it, beyond. So that's kind of where that balanced and bright kind of thing comes from. And beyond that, just a couple of measures, beyond that, we try to be kind of adjunct light, there's adjunct heavy breweries, like Grist and people like that are killer at doing more adjuncts, right? Like whatever they're putting in the beers. We obviously use adjuncts, like honey is an adjunct, and that's in our flagship. We kind of are adjunct light, we definitely put them in there, but we're not some beers are more exactly to style, BJCP to style. Some beers we do adjunct, so we're sort of, we like to say we're adjunct light. And then just kind of as it's continued over the years, and we've changed the core beers out some and what we're brewing, we've gone, and it being so hot here most of the year, we kind of call ourselves the light beer kings in a way. Like 2 of our flagships are super light, Miro and Tennessee Sipper, and even Sour Season's kind of light, right? We got one big IPA East Bank, but other than that, they're light. And then you look at our board, and we've got 3 Pilsners, and we've got a Kolsch, and we've got there's a Helles on the board right now. We're brewing a crap ton of light beers. I mean, that is a big deal to us. And it being Nashville, it being hot 6 months out of the year, we love it, and we're here for it. So we've just sort of that's just been a little bit of a niche. And when 2 of your flagships become super light beers, you just keep rolling with it. So
I was talking with someone recently, and they were talking about the diversity of the breweries in Nashville, and I think it's because everybody kind of does something style-wise differently. You talk about how your beers are lighter, and You got your Grits doing their stuff and Break doing this stuff. And I think that's what lends it to Nashville being a great beer town. That you're not going to get the same thing next door. You might get the same kind of style, but you got your spin on it.
Yeah, I mean, no, to that point, yeah, and that I get excited about that stuff. Being a big Tennessee Brewers Guild guy, I love supporting the other breweries, and I love what they do. I find great beers at Yazoo that I just love, and Blackstone. God, Blackstone is the most decorated porter ever. You've got. I mean, we cannot say that enough. Kent, my buddy, who's on the board with me. Fela Forest just coming out brewing some really cool stuff that's different. Grist and the Adjunct, just doing awesome, cool things. There's just like Barrique and those lagers. It's not just the sours.
I know.
Tell me a better lager than Barrique. I mean, it's just, and I'll be like, you're lying. I mean, we go over there and drink lagers all the time, dude. It is just, it's unbelievable. And Spencer's our buddy, and Joel, they're brewing great stuff.
Yep.
I mean, just everybody. I mean, like TBW with Hippies and Cowboys. I mean, Black Abbey's got some cool beers. Jackalope, they're all doing great stuff. It's just a good industry, and everybody's got their own. I always say everybody's running their own race. Like we're running our own race. We compete on tap handles. There are things we compete on. And like a bar that has 30 tap handles is not as competitive. Like if it has 12, it's like we're fighting for tap handles. Other than that, we don't really compete. It's just like because we all do different things in our tap rooms. We all brew different kinds of beers. Like we all have our own niches. Like we're kind of the family thing. Like other people are doing different things. So it just varies per brewery.
Yeah, it's like when Steve and I bounce around to breweries, like if we do the hop trolley, right? You go from one of them, and they're all kind of different, which is what we love. We're gonna go somewhere, and we're gonna have something completely different than we had in the last brewery.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
like how all you guys seem to really complement each other. I mean, every brewery you go to, the owners are talking about, as you just said, hey, love going to Barrique or love going to Lafayette, LaForest or Blackstone or wherever, and Black Abbey. I mean, I think it's fantastic.
It is.
Have you been out to East Nashville Beer Works in Lebanon yet? Like, that's going to be the thing, too. Have you done that? That's going to be one of my first things I talk to people about. Have you been out there yet? No, we'll go.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we just opened that. We can't I don't know if y'all have done half batch. Go down 109, man. They opened that big thing recently too, and he's doing some great stuff out there. Nate, love that guy. So, a couple of us are trying the go big or go home model. We're gonna just see what happens. It's just, it's been nerve wracking, man. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff, just a lot of stress. But I'm thankful to get to at least this other side of it and just be serving people and doing what we love and providing beer and providing food and comfort and community. And that's we're just doing our thing in another place. And we just hope people keep coming out and support us. We're going to be starting trivia on Tuesdays out in Wilson County. I got this guy, Brainiac, who's really awesome. He was doing something trivia in downtown Lebanon. So we're already kind of latching into the community there. It's been immersive for so many years in the East. We did an event last night for Warner Elementary School. We just did Rosebank last week. Just all these different groups that come in constantly. But come out and see Wilco, like you were saying. It is a sight to behold, and it is an experience to behold. And then please come to the Home Alone pop-up if you like Christmas Home Alone movie stuff at Trinity. Starts November 21st. It is going to be so fun. I'm a Home Alone junkie. It's going to be cool.
Love it.
Those are my pitches.
You talked about, and we had a podcast recently where we're kind of talking about the state of craft beer and breweries, right? Yeah. Locally and kind of nationally. And, we've seen some people close in Murfreesboro, not just Murfreesboro, but around, and that sucks. And they're all for various reasons. But then the other side of the coin is, all right, there's some breweries doing really well. You guys opened the second massive, beautiful location. Grayson opened the cidery, and he's got another brewery, he's getting ready to do. And, Tailgate's got 45 locations, and
totally.
Half Batch has got his beautiful place up there. So there is the other side of the coin too. So, there is a lot of positive coming out of the craft beer industry for various reasons. Diversity, in what you offer, I think is a big help in that. Having a nice core beers is a big deal, obviously, and having a beautiful place to go to is nice too. So, it's nice to see that there is expansion still, even in the midst of some kind of settling out in the craft beer world.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we talk about this a lot, obviously, and especially being on the guild board, but there has been some needed consolidation nationwide, not here really, but just nationwide. We have not been hit as hard because I still think we were kind of a little bit underserved, and everybody's got kind of either your niche or your neighborhood or whatever. We lost Harding House, but then they're coming back in the form of like a coffee shop. Which is cool. I mean, maybe that was the good model for them, and it's just, it's less risky. They can come on with a coffee shop and be part of that, like share rents or whatever they're doing. But yeah, we lost. I mean, Panther Creek are buddies of mine. We lost some stuff that's been hard and really cool people. But nationwide, we have had needed consolidation. I think nationwide, and like generally, you just have to. Everybody's just doing their niche. And when COVID money was gone and all this stuff kind of happened, it's just like, and also there's just a lot of competition. I mean, there's just like THC and there's, more RTDs and like on the shelves, like with ready to drink liquor stuff, and Gen Z's not drinking as much. And it's just like on and on with the competition. So it's hard. And I think, so that's a factor. We couldn't just grow forever, and just a little bit of needed consolidation. But yeah, like you said, those of us that are still like trying to be in the game, we got to do everything we can to try. You're either growing or dying, right? So you got to like try to just do your thing and grow. And like I said, I don't know that I've done it this big. Fast forward 2 years, but going back 3 years, I did. And we're just going with what we did, and right now it's been really successful so far. Half Batch has built a beautiful building, like you said, and Tailgate. It's a marvel. They continue to expand. I don't know how he's doing it, man, but that guy's killing it. Just people they're running their own races and they're doing their thing, and it's good. And so there are successes. And thank you to the people that are coming out, that are still drinking craft beer, that listen to shows like yours, that are supporting us. Whether you come to a trivia night only and just have fun with us, and it is that welcoming environment, or you just, you're a craft beer nerd like us and, are picking out your favorite stuff. I mean, and everything in between, it all matters. I can't
really think of too many breweries that I've seen where I look down off the mezzanine and I'm going, it's a dog park. Like there's actual dogs just running around with these kids and there's nobody in there drinking beer. But, it's the family thing. And I'm like, I think you guys are onto something. I think I really do.
Well, either whether you're doing our thing or not, experience. And if you go to the Craft Brewers Conference with Brewers Association, which those of us that are really active go to, that's the national trend. It is experience, so whatever your experience is, whether you're getting those great lagers and sours at Barrique, or, family friendly with us, or Smith & Lentz now with that great like pizza menu and just like great beer and pizza and like more restaurant style. Like whatever your experience is, that matters. That now matters. And like you said, it's all about experience. So our thing is that deal, that family deal. And like you said, it's just, we've gone to the nth degree out there now, and it's seeing if it works, So
far it seems to be, it does look like that is a welcomed and maybe a very much needed thing out in that area, because they're flocking to you.
Thank you. Yeah, we rolled the dice, and we hope that continues to be the case.
I was following you kind of over social media. You put some renderings out early on, like this is what it's going to look like before you even broke ground. It's like, and from that point on, I was like, I can't wait for this thing. It's going to be beautiful, and it's even better than expected, honestly, seeing it in person.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming out there, and please, everyone, continue to come out there.
Yes,
we got to pay for that thing. It's a lot to pay for, so we count on you.
And I'm telling you, if you're coming from Nashville, so it's worth the drive. Go out there, and if you want to spend, again, hit the other two breweries while you're out there too. Hit them all, and make a day of it.
10 Lakes in the middle, Cedar City and downtown Lebanon. They're both great, both really great people, and worth checking out for sure.
My experience there on Sunday was perfect, so I loved it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I got one more question. I know we're trying to wrap up here, but I got one more thing. So you guys have a beer truck, and I've seen it. You guys do like at festivals and stuff, and I guess, can you rent that out, use it for private events, festivals and things? Kind of, where's that used?
Yeah, we do a little bit of both. So we started that. We do our Shelby Park pop-ups. I don't know if you've heard of those Fridays by the River. We do 6 in the spring, 6 in the fall. Those have been really successful over in East Nashville. We raise money for Friends of Shelby Park. We'd like to use it more. It's a 6-tap beer truck. And, ours has a big cooler in there. So we hold a lot of kegs. So we can really service like a pretty big a big party. So we will do it for weddings, private stuff. We don't do a ton of that because, it's got to be the right like price and like you have to have a fair amount of people because there's cheaper options than us. And we're sort of set up to serve a lot of people with that thing because it's got a big cooler in it. But yeah, it's a really fun, cool thing. It's a party on wheels. We got music with it. There's speakers. So yeah, I mean, definitely keep us in mind if you've got some kind of event you're looking to serve beer. We can vend where we handle permitting and we can come sell and that sort of thing. Or if it's totally private, it can be like rented out for like a wedding or something at a venue. So, and we have a license to do that. So.
Can it be used as like an ice cream truck where you kind of just go up and down neighborhood streets and have some music going and then the people run out?
I wish like a adult ice cream where we're just like serving. I wish.
We gotta I want that honey blonde.
Yeah, there's just too many rules, man. I gotta have like security. I gotta have like a fence. It's just a lot of stuff.
Hey kid, go get your dad. This isn't for you.
Yeah, I wish we could do alcohol that way. Maybe there's a county where that is allowed, but
if you need
definitely not Davidson. That's not Davidson County.
If you need a driver, let me know if you got some downtime with the truck.
Heck yeah. It's an old like milk. It was actually Smyrna. It was a Smyrna government truck. It's like one of those mail trucks. If you look at our website and click beer truck, eastnashvillebeerworks.com, click beer truck, you'll see it. But it was like it was actually a Smyrna like government truck, kind of like a mail truck.
Yeah, it's cool. I see it. So, that's cool. I want to drive it.
But it's old school stick. That's what I was going to say. It's like old school manual. You got to do the manual.
Yeah, I'll be sloshing the beer around back there. You won't get a good pour after I've driven it there.
Absolutely. Come to the tap rooms. Come to Wilson. Come to Trinity Lane. Come to the Home Alone pop-up November 21st. And support the other breweries in town, too. I know you guys are all craft beer fans. Buy the stuff off the shelves. But, what supports all the breweries most is y'all going to the tap rooms. Because when you buy it direct from us, that's where we can make more margin and we can really support our businesses. So if you're ever like, man, I love these breweries, it does help buy it off the shelf too. But like when you come to the tap rooms, if you're doing an outing, come see us, and ride the trolley, experience the breweries and just come hang out with us.
Yeah. Well said. One last thing, and I wrote this down earlier where we were talking about beer and we didn't get to it, but you guys make a golden stout, and I don't know if it was a seasonal thing or what one time. And the reason I bring it up is because you look at it and it's golden.
Mm-hmm.
But if you close your eyes and you drink it, it does not. I mean, it blew my friggin' mind because it doesn't look like it tastes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've done that a couple times for the trivia nerds out there. We did a coffee one as a collab with Retrograde Coffee, which is down there on Dickerson Pike. They've got a couple locations now. So we did a golden stout with them and added their coffee. And then we did an Eclipse beer in 2017. That was a collab with Black Abbey and Briar Scratch out of Gallatin.
Yeah.
And that was our 2017 Eclipse collab. Get it? Eclipse. It was like, so we did a golden stout for the eclipse with the sun and the darkness and whatever. So we did a really cool one with them. We added chicory, which is like kind of like Café Du Monde, that New Orleans coffee has chicory in it.
Okay.
So it kind of had it took on just some different characteristics. So we did a chicory one with Black Abbey and Briar Scratch, and that was a really fun one too. But so we've done it a couple times. You probably had that Retrograde one more recently, and it's really cool. It's like a body of a stout, but with like, just some lighter malts and lighter colors, and it was cool.
But if you drank that thing in the dark, you'd swear it was as dark as night. But you look at it and it just blows your mind, Steve. I can remember sitting and drinking it and like, God damn, that's a stout.
Yeah,
because it doesn't look the part.
I don't know how the brewers, there's things that they do. I wish Mitch were on; he could explain it. But it's impressive how they do that.
It's so good. It just blows your mind. If anybody's ever had it out there, man, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So cool. Anything else, Steve?
No, I think that'll probably do it. We certainly appreciate it, man. Anthony Davis, who is the owner, the president,
East Nashville Beer Works, yeah.
East Nashville Beer Works, that's right.
We always get the Brew Works. I don't know if like it's hard to like. I love that you're trying not to do that, but like, and Christian from Tennessee Brew Works said that at the beginning. Is like the bar calls. It gets confused all the time. I'm sure they get Tennessee Beer Works all the time.
Is it just preference when you name it? The beer versus brew versus.
Yeah, it's kind of like a moniker thing. And here's you guys will like this story. At the very beginning, East Nashville. I wanted East Nashville Brewing Company, but Blackstone owned. Nashville Brewing Company had not come out at that time.
Okay.
They had done like a couple little small collab type things as Nashville Brewing Company, but they knew they were going to be doing Nashville Brewing Company, which was an homage to the original, way back in the day, beer history thing. Scott Murdy kind of runs that, who is works with Kent from Blackstone. Blackstone brews all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I went to them and I was just like, oh, who, Scott or Kent?
Yeah, Scott. Scott's been on a couple times.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. So when I didn't know that, our lawyer was just kind of like doing like a trademark thing, and so when we found that out, I just went to them and I was just like, hey, could we just do something like East Nashville Beer Works? Because I had seen Austin. I didn't want to do Brew Works because Tennessee Brew Works was out, but I had seen Austin Beer Works just from travels, and I was like, what about Beer Works? Just a different moniker. Is that different enough? I really want to do this East Nashville thing. That's kind of where I was at. Just, stubborn and young and just did whatever. And Blackstone was cool with it. They were really cool about it. And they were just like, yeah, as long as, because we are doing something with this Nashville Brewing Company. We're going to do something. So if you do that, we're cool. And that's how that happened.
That's great. We hadn't heard that story before. That's
so
wonderful. That's
Nashville
cool.
beer, craft beer trivia for you there.
Love it. And what tripped me up is I know you were East Nashville Beer Works, but I also wanted to say you can follow you online at eastnashbeerworks.com. So it's like, try to get that out.
And socials are all East Nash Beer, pretty much.
It is.
Then we did have some Wilco stuff, EMBW Wilco, you can find out there. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, Anthony, check out both locations, man. Yep. Yeah, thanks for coming on. This was a lot of fun, and we kept you extra time. Thanks for giving us the time and the knowledge and stuff. This was awesome.
Always down, man. Always down.
Awesome. Have both locations and get some beer soon, and we appreciate it. And that is going to do it for us. For Scott Touron, I'm Steve Sullivan, and this has been the Brewery Underground Podcast.
Happy anniversary, Steve. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.